Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you all doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Johnny No Cash. You're listening to a brand new episode of Life with Johnny No Cash. And as you all know, if you've been listening for a while, or if this is your first time listening, welcome. I've been living in a van for about a year and a half now. It's been an incredible experience. It changed my entire outlook on life and some of the values of life. I've grown as a person, and I've grown to really enjoy life a lot more than I did before. And I'm not sure if this is something you do or if you're just tuning in because you like hearing my gravelly voice. But to everybody who's doing van life, it's tough. It can be tough. And you guys are stronger people for giving it a shot. You only live once, so cheers to you guys. And speaking of van life, this is my second winter. And I'm facing some new problems. I'm going to talk about that today for everybody who is doing this lifestyle, man. These are things that you're going to want to think about. These are things that you're going to have to at least have a bit of some savings for, because you could get screwed, like really, really screwed. So let's try and avoid that, okay? I don't want anyone to get screwed over, listening to this and be like, oh, he can do it. I'm going to, well, hold on. Every van's different too. So we're going to dive into that. But one other main thing I really want to talk about today, this has been on my mind for quite some time. Come this time of year, I know that myself, particularly, I get kind of depressed. I get kind of down on myself. I get into a funk. And I have a feeling that a lot of people do. And I really want to address this. I want to candidly talk about mental health. And no, I'm not going to be using that as a buzzword. Fuck that shit. I'm going to be brutally honest. We're going to discuss some mental health issues, especially around the holidays. I understand that a lot of people get down. A lot of people are struggling financially, mentally, with family, friends. Everything falls apart at the end of the year. And even into the first couple months of the new year, I find it still really difficult. So I really want to share with you guys some advice and some words of maybe not wisdom, but some words of encouragement for you guys over the holiday season. So once again, thank you all so much for your continued support. You guys kick ass. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world. Your comments, anytime you guys start a discussion, whether it's on YouTube or even sending me a personal message or even an email, it really helps me know that, this content is reaching you. It makes me want to do it. So to everybody who's interacting with me regarding the topic of the day, thank you so much. It does mean the world to me. So without further ado, let's just jump into some major heavy shit coming around at you this week. Here we go. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Live with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Live with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck don't know. I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans. Got my old future dart, back on the future dart, back on the primitive darts. God damn, man. Tobacco is a deadly, deadly drug. I've done some drugs in my day. Nothing compares to this. I mean, I barely even drink coffee. Coffee doesn't really have like an addictive, I don't have an addictive personality when it comes to coffee. I could easily go without a coffee for God knows how long. But tobacco, goddamn, that nicotine, man, that nicotine. So I'm going to be hacking my future dart while I'm doing the episode. I hope you don't mind. I hope it doesn't trigger you. That's another buzzword. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm on the side of the road once again. Why? As you know, I get free Wi-Fi from the Home Depot, and it's great. I can upload my podcast here. I can do some of my graphic design for the artwork for the podcast here without having any real issues. Sometimes it cuts in and out, but I mean, hey, that's life. It's just the way she goes, all right? And as you know, I've been on this little strip here for quite some time. I have been bombing around doing lots of work for not just film, but over the Christmas holidays, I'm going to be house sitting up north about 4.5 hours away from here at a friend's house. So that's going to be really amazing to get back into nature, spend some time outside. They got a couple dogs. Take the dogs for a walk in the mountains. Oh, yeah. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better Christmas, to be perfectly honest. So I'm really excited for that. So sitting here on the side of the road, I've been noticing that, some shit is going bad. I just got my batteries recharged about 4 days ago. As you know, like all the power in here is from batteries. I do have solar panel, but that, of course, charges those batteries as much as it can. And in this kind of weather, I'm not really getting any solar energy whatsoever. So I went to Battery Depot. I think it's called Polar Battery. These guys were amazing. Like, amazing people. They charged my batteries overnight for free, 24 hours. They used their electricity. Not a single dime I had to pay for this shit. Amazing. So to anybody who is van lifing and you're relying on a battery source, do a little research, find a Battery Depot near you in the nearest city that you're in. Just give them a shout. This has happened twice so far. I haven't paid for any battery charges. They'll leave it overnight, and it's a lifesaver. But the problem is I think that my batteries are actually going to die. 4 days ago, full battery. Today, I'm at like 12.1 right now. And normally it goes up to 13.6. So I'm kind of worried that I might have to buy some brand new batteries, and they're not cheap. So for somebody who is doing van life or, considering this, just make sure that you're not always relying on those batteries. I do have a Jackery, which I can use for some side charging, like my phone, my laptop, things like that. Actually, that's how I charged all this shit, because I can't afford any more juice to spare. The only thing I'm really using right now is my heater and the lights and my sink periodically whenever I have to do dishes and things like that. This is a big thing, though, because a lot of times you probably think to yourself, I'm set, I'm good to go, I don't have anything to worry about. That's not true. It is not true. And it was a big smack in the face hit of reality over the last couple days when I'm noticing my battery draining and draining. I'm wondering why. I just fucking charged this thing. But these things run out, and make sure that you are completely set up. Depending if you're going off into the woods, if you're going off the grid, man, you want to make sure that you are well equipped. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get a flat tire. You might not even have service. If something happens to you, man, you might not be able to call for help and you're stuck. So I'm just saying, make sure that you're well equipped, well prepared for the worst case scenario. Have food, have water, have power, have smokes, have booze. You need all these things to keep going. So just take it from me, because luckily I'm still in the city. If something bad was to happen, I'm not really worried about it. I'm close enough that I could figure it out. But when you're off the grid and you're down an old, a logging road or something, you could really get screwed over by not being prepared. So to everybody who is doing van life, good on you, man. Good on you. But just make sure that you're safe, you're well equipped, and you're ready for life on the road and off the grid, because you just never know. You really don't. Now, over the last little while, I know I've been kind of, sporadic, to say the least, when it comes to podcasting, even being on social media. I haven't really been posting a lot. And that really comes down to, again, this comes down to self-esteem. I'm going to tell you all right now. I'm going to be brutally candid. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I'm feeling. Maybe you can relate, maybe not. But I just feel like this is really important for me. It's important for other people to be candid and open with their feelings, how they're doing, because I'll tell you, man, over the last 2.5 years, I lost almost a dozen friends to not just drug addiction, but suicide. And this is important. Know that you're not alone. Know that there are people out there who will listen. And if you feel like you don't have anyone, please try and get some help. It's not worth it to go and do something that you clearly will never be able to take back. I mean, I love people. I really do. I think that people are genuinely good people. There's some shitty people out there, of course, but I hate hearing when, somebody's taken their life or gone down a path that there's, a point of no return. So I'm going to talk today about this because it's important. We're getting to that time of year around Christmas time where depression sinks in. People's wallets are shrinking. Jobs are tougher to fucking hold down. Family, the expectation of gifts and all these, there's so much pressure. And that's what I want to talk about. And it's not just this time of year. It's also in the beginning of the new year when bills start coming in, Visa bills, because you fucking went all out for your family. And now you can't pay it off. And now Visa's docking you interest like crazy. And you feel like, there's no way of digging yourself out of this hole. Now, for me, this is what's going on. Okay? One of the reasons why I wasn't posting nearly as much was I was getting into a bit of a funk. I was getting into a small case of depression, loneliness, feeling like not a lot of self-worth, not feeling like I was contributing. And these are dark places that sometimes are really hard to get out of. And I understand that I am not the only one. I'm not saying these things as if nobody else goes through this shit. I know that you guys are all going through this at some point. Now, just know that it's natural. You're not walking around. And if you're walking around with a fake smile the entire time, pretending everything's okay, that is even worse. That's like self-resentment towards your feelings. And you need to address these things, whether it's a doctor or your friends or family. Let's fucking sit them down and say, I need a moment of your time. That's all you need to ask is I just need a bit of time from you, please. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for, anything physical. I need your time. Now, I was getting through this real funk, as that, over the last number of episodes, I've been talking about, trying to get the band going up and going again. It's not looking good. I haven't found anybody in the city here that I kind of mesh with that gets the style and the execution that I want to do. And that's it's depressing. It's sad. I've had a number of people very interested in the music, but not enough to the point where they'd like to, start working together. So being a solo artist with very little support out here has been really difficult for me over the last little while. It's really it's like being sick and trying to get out of bed when your legs are aching. That's what it's been like for me. And I've been just trying my goddamn best to pull through. Like every day, I'll try and give myself a little pep talk or something like that. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what I've been doing, and actually I'm doing this tonight, is I'm starting from fucking scratch. I'm starting from scratch. I love music. I love performing. I even want to get into some stand-up comedy. I was actually thinking about this last night. I really love performing more than anything. I like performing more than writing music. I like performing, whether it's a theatrical play, acting for the film and TV, or even performing on stage in any kind of form. I love it. And I need to start doing this. So what I'm doing, not just tonight, but I did this last week too, is I've been starting to go to open mics. I don't tell anybody about them. I just kind of show up. I don't know a soul there. And it's a really nice, refreshing way for me to kind of gain some of that confidence back, gain some of that self-worth, and to where I feel comfortable again. I was terrified being out here as a musician and nobody knowing who the fuck, my music was or anything like that. And basically trying to climb myself up a slope that's covered in ice. you're not getting far, man. So I was really having to like give myself pep talks and fucking trying to get myself back into the mental space of not only getting in the van, starting her up and driving somewhere where I have never been before. I don't know the scene out here much. I don't really know a lot of people, but just showing up and belting it out like I did back in the day. How I started this project was just that. I was going to open mics. 3-4 people in the fucking audience, but making them tap their feet. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm taking it back. I'm going back to my roots, and I'm going to start doing this the old-fashioned way. I understand with Spotify, all that shit, man, you don't get the same kind of gratification as you do from a live audience, even if people hate it. Even if people fucking hate your tunes, man, that adrenaline rush is all you need. And I was noticing, I was getting to a point where, I wasn't interacting much online. I wasn't posting much. I was barely doing the podcast. I don't talk to a lot of my friends back home anymore. I've been feeling very, very isolated and alone. And actually, I got a weekend job just because I don't act on the weekends. And I work overnights. What that means is like I'm alone the entire time. So not only am I alone in the van all day, if I'm on set, I can't stand background performers anyway. So I never talk to them. They're horrendous. I can't stand them. Anyway, that's something I'll get on. That I could literally go on a topic about that for a long time, but we're not getting into that. But background performers are fucking punishing. So, I'm really not interacting with a lot of people. The open mic thing was great because I'm talking to other musicians and all different walks of life. You get from acoustic to electric to piano players to jazz, folk, country, some like kind of acoustic punk. It's just such a great collection of people that all love music and performing in the same room, and you get to share the stage with them. There's no competition like you do back when you're playing shows with bands in venues where everyone's kind of checking out the other band. There's no egos. And that's the thing. Like, I'm just so happy that I'm surrounding myself with people that don't have any, and if they do have an ego, will go fuck themselves. They can go jump off a damn bridge, because there's no room for that, especially when it comes to open mic, because you have all levels of talent. You have somebody who just picked up the guitar last month, and then some guy who's been playing the guitar for fucking decades. So check your ego at the door. Let everybody jam. Let everybody play. Everyone's equal. I don't give a shit if you're playing Stairway to Heaven or if you're playing Brain Stew by Green Day. All right? I don't give a shit. Just have fun. Let loose. These are the things that we need to do to, continue to help our mental health. And I know that I went to the open jam the other night, man, and it just was such a huge relief. I didn't tell anybody about it. I went on my own. And these are the things that I needed to do to help myself, because I was noticing myself getting into this real dark place. And sometimes, like I said, once you cover yourself with darkness, it's really hard to find the light. And I was slowly drifting. And this is the time of year too. Like I said earlier, a lot of people are hiding and like suppressing their emotions and how they're feeling right now. And it's tough to be honest and open about these things. You don't want to be judged. You don't want somebody to think you're weak. You don't want somebody to, have their own opinion. Like, tough it up, man. Like, get your shit together. You don't want that kind of response. You need to have positive influence and support. And honestly, everybody that's listening to this right now, I genuinely feel like I have your support. And that's why I'm telling you guys this. If I felt like I couldn't be open and honest about this, I wouldn't have never touched on the subject. I would have never brought this up. And I understand that this is an important thing, just not for me, but to everybody. We don't want any more people losing people to mental health issues. Like I said, I lost a lot of people, and it really makes me fucking sad. that they felt like maybe they didn't have somebody to talk to. And I just want each and everyone, because we are coming up to the holiday season, be well to each other. Be well to yourself. Treat yourself. Spoil yourself. Take yourself out to a fucking movie. Do something alone. Do something with friends. A lot of people think that money will bring them some kind of joy. It doesn't. It really fucking doesn't. Go for a walk. Go down to the lake. Start a fire. Those small little micro accomplishments do wonders for your serotonin. It really does. Like I said, when I was playing basketball quite a bit, just getting one fucking shot in, it's a little boost. So, folks, I just wanted to say, I know that we are getting into a shitty time of year, that I'm here for you. If you want to reach out and tell me something, not in a public post, if you just want to direct message me, I'm here for you, and I feel like you guys are there for me. So just know that I'm, you got somebody. You got a shoulder to lean on, brothers and sisters. And it's mine. But that being said, man, thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode. I know that it's a little shorter than it normally is. I am losing power fucking fast with all this shit on. I've got my lights, my batteries, my laptop, everything's plugged in here, so it's sucking the juice. But I just wanted to say thank you all so much for your listening ears, and if you did make it this far, you guys rock. It means the world to me, and just be well with each other. Be well with your friends, your family. Everyone's going through some shit. So if you feel like being an asshole, maybe suck it up. Tighten that sphincter. Don't shit on somebody. Go to the bathroom. I'm telling you, man, people are going through shit and they're hiding it. So, just be kind to others. You don't know what the fuck they're going through. So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. As you know, if you want to support me, leave a comment. Don't even worry about the buy me the coffee or anything like that. Just leave me a comment. I hope you're doing well. Just tell me, are you doing okay these days? And if you are, what are some tactics that you use to get you out of this funk? Maybe you will have better advice in the comments than I have in the entire fucking podcast. And that's the great thing about something like YouTube, is we can have an open dialogue about some of these things. And if there's something really personal that you don't want to share publicly, please don't. Reach out to either myself or somebody close to you and let them know that you need to sit down and talk. But if there's something public you'd like to share with me and share with the rest of our listeners, by all means, let's get it going. Just know that I'm sure everybody that's listening and watching probably likes everybody else that's listening and watching. So we've got a cool community here, a cool group of friends, and that's what I want to call you guys. So thank you once again. I'm Johnny No Cash. Take it easy, folks. Please take it easy. Oh, and before I leave, I just got to say thank you once again to my friends over at Nickel 9 Distillery for their Crazy Monkey Vodka. Thank you to Sea Rock Live in Toronto as well. They have all my podcast episodes up on their website. So if for whatever reason you wanted to check that out, and there's a ton of great other local bands that they cover every day. So by all means, check those guys out. Check out Nickel 9, and thank you for checking me out. Until next time, folks, you better stay dusty. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Live with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Live with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans.